Welcome to the Land of House YouTube channel. I'm Seth. I'm here at the 8th Day Chronicle YouTube channel with my friend Darren, and we're going to be replacing a 1/2-inch ram pump with this tiny 3/8 inch pump. The reason for this is because his source water is a small spring that has slowly lost water over the summer months. When we first installed the 1/2-inch ram pump, he had 1.6 gallons per minute. Now normally the 1/2-inch ram pump needs 2 gallons per minute to operate, but we tilted the valve and allowed it to use less water, which also pumps less water up top, but we were able to run that pump with the amount of water he has. But now that the water is dropping down further and further over the summer, we are unable to operate that 1/2-inch pump. So enter the 3/8 inch pump, and you can see this thing is tiny. We're thinking it's going to be using a lot less than the 1.6 we had. I'm thinking somewhere around 1 gallon per minute. So let's go ahead and install this. But first, I just want to show you the setup that we installed in a previous video. Now, we did just get 5 inches of rain this past week, and so the 1/2-inch pump is back up and running. But we want to see if this pump will operate on the same 1/2-inch drive pipe that we currently have. So let me show you what his system looks like. Let me start with his spring box real quick. He has built a covering or a housing for the spring to keep the leaves and other debris out. So as you can see, he's got about 2 gallons a minute flowing right now after this big rain. Little bathtub is his catchment, and he's got a screened intake over a 1/2-inch drive pipe. Now this pipe is about 160 feet long, which is too much for the ram pump. And so let me walk you down here where he has a stand pipe installed. 1/2-inch drive pipe snakes its way down here and goes down this way to a stand pipe. Now the reason for the stand pipe is to bring the source water closer to the pump. Otherwise, the pressure wave would be dissipated over such a long distance. So right down here is the stand pipe. It's about 9 foot tall, and the water is almost up here to the top. He's put a cap on it to keep some leaves out and put some little air holes right here at the top. Now the pump still has the waste valve tilted so it uses less water. I'll go down here and show you what that looks like. So if you'll notice here, I have 1/2-inch unions on both sides of the pump, and that is going to allow us to simply disconnect this pump and reconnect the 3/8 pump. So let's go ahead and do that now and see if it will operate on this 1/2-inch drive pipe. So the way I've got this 3/8 pump set up is it has the same 1/2-inch unions as the other pump. So we can simply close off the drive pipe ball valve and the delivery ball valve and swap it out real quick. And that will keep our lines full of water, and we won't have to do any more work with either filling the delivery or refilling the drive pipe. This one's got a 90 in it, okay, so it may stand itself up. You may have to get your garden hose to swoop around a bit more to fit in there, but wow. There we go.
Wow, look at that.
It's working. Hopefully it's using less water.
And that's coming out with some force too.
Mm-hmm. And now open up your delivery side and see if it'll keep going there. Good. Well, that's operating. And more good news is that the stand pipe over here is overflowing. So we are using significantly less water with this pump because this wasn't happening with the 1/2-inch pump. Now the question is, do we have output at the top? So let's walk up the hill and see how we're doing up there.
We didn't have her dog.
The 1/2-inch ram pump was able to bring water up here to this bucket, which is at least 60 feet lift above the pump. I hear the pump still running down in the creek. We're going to pull this lower piece of hose. Now it does have a lot of water from up the hill, but we're going to see if the pump can lift to this height right here. Hey, there we go. That's what we want to see right there. So this water coming out of the hose right here is from that 3/8-inch ram pump. It's quite a flow too. So he wants this water right here to be able to fill up a tank in this corner so that it will stay in the shade most of the day and be able to provide water for goats that he's going to keep in this back pasture. So as long as we have water right here, I think that flow will easily lift up another 5 feet or so to this point right over here. When we first installed this 3/8-inch pump, we had the waste valve sticking straight up and down, and possibly even a bit more facing this direction. So what we've done is angled it off to the side, just like the 1/2-inch pump was, and it's really using a lot less water now. So you can see it's hammering a lot softer than it was, which means this is using less water, and it's also pushing less water up the hill. And that means our standpipe over here has overflow all the time, which is also one of the things we were looking for. So if I zoom up here, you'll be able to see where the water is flowing out of this. And that means our spring is full, the standpipe is full. The pump is right down in here and runs uphill, now about 30 feet instead of the 60 feet that the 1/2-inch pump used to travel up. Let me show you the new output now that we have tilted that valve. You can see that it is significantly less water, which is actually what we wanted. So right there is the new flow. It may not look like much, but you have that over 24/7, and it's going to be enough to fill up a stock tank pretty quick. He's going to put his tank over here in this corner and bring the garden hose up to that point, and then he'll be able to bring his goats back here in this back pasture. I built this tiny 3/8-inch ram pump about 3 years ago and did a little bit of testing with it, and then it just sat in a pile of other ram pump parts for all this time. So it's nice to have it back out in the creek running, and I think it's going to do quite well to allow this farmer to use his small spring that's not big enough to handle a 1/2-inch ram pump, but will allow him to pump the creek water up to use as his goats need it. So if you would like to check out the 8th Day Chronicle YouTube channel, I have a link in the description down below. He has a small farm and is pretty good at making videos, so definitely check him out. I'm Seth with Land the House. If you want to have a ram pump of your very own, I have 4 different sizes available at landthehouse.com, eBay, and Amazon. All those links in the description down below. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.